Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be doing a Senate election prediction. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Thought it would be fun to do some Senate election predictions. So right off the bat, Republicans are at 50 with the lean likely, and then we have one lean state there in New Hampshire. For the Democrats, I'll probably use the lean characterization for Republicans and Democrats for the states that are left. Actually, no, I'll add a tilt characterization, so we'll be going through each of these swing states. There are a couple states here that don't appear to be as they usually are. We have, for instance, in Nebraska, that would normally be a safe Republican seat. There is an independent that is running, and he will most likely lose, but just has a better shot at winning the state than a Democrat would in Nebraska for sure. But we'll go through these swing states. I'm going to start out in the south and then move up eastward. So interestingly enough, Florida is predicted to be a safe seat, which is kind of interesting. Could be the case. And then we get to Georgia. So in Georgia is going to be interesting. I think if I were to call it now, it would probably be in the tilt blue rating. This is, if I remember correctly, Jon Ossoff is running for re-election. So this would be a good win for Democrats. They did pretty well in the state in Georgia, being in the 2025 elections. Things turned out pretty well for Democrats there, so I think they've got a shot. And then, interestingly enough, I think there might even be a chance where North Carolina is slightly more blue than Georgia on the Senate elections, just because North Carolina has a popular former governor that is running for the Senate. So I'm going to go with the tilt characterization rating for North Carolina. And then we get to Ohio. Ohio, I think this one will actually be in the lean category. When you do the reset map, it puts Ohio in the lean category, and that seems like a reasonable expectation. So, Sherrod Brown might make a dent, but I think it will ultimately remain in Republican hands. And then we get to Michigan. Michigan is going to be an interesting case. I think if I were to call it right now, I would probably put it in the tilt blue rating, just because I think it will probably, 2026, generally the off year is a good year for the party that is not in control of the presidency. So it'll probably be a good year for Democrats, most likely. But I do think that Collins is going to be an interesting case. I think she's defied polling results before and has done quite well as a more moderate Republican. So I think there's definitely a chance this could be the election that she finally loses, but she just consistently outpaces the polls and ends up doing quite well in a state that went to Harris and is generally regarded as a Democratic state. Maine does have the one Republican-leaning district, just it's kind of the opposite of the district in Nebraska. Those two kind of balance each other out, but it is a Democratic state, but I do think that Susan Collins has a good shot as being a more independent, moderate conservative, moderate Republican, that she will probably have a good chance at winning the election in Maine. And with that brings us to 52 to 48. Republicans are in the lead. This narrows it down by one seat. Basically, Democrats flip the seat of North Carolina and maintain the Democratic holds in Michigan and Georgia. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.